morning, ladies and gents. Dane Scott, Dane Scott's Truckers Lounge. It's a wonderful kind of fall looking Tuesday morning in northern Ohio, and I am waiting for a special visit today from a friend of mine who has a very cool cab over. So today's Cab Over Tuesday. How's that? So just waiting at the Truckers Lounge. We're going to entertain this morning. We're going to hear a great story about how he obtained this truck and what happened on the trip, driving it. And it's a great story. I think all you vintage iron guys will love it. Got the coffee going here. Yes, sir. You know we got to have that in the Truckers Lounge. So stick around. It's going to be a fun day. We're here with Ron, my buddy Ron there from Girard, Ohio, and he's going to tell us a story about when he picked up that cool Astro, because it's a very cool story.
Yeah, so it's an interesting story. It starts back, I'm from a long line of truckers. My 5 uncles and my dad all were small businessmen. They all had 1 or 2 trucks. I grew up on a dump truck when I was 14 in our area, in our farm. And then we branched out into the hauling, into the dairy. We served the dairy industry, hauled milk, and gravel, and lime, and on and on. Then my uncle, probably the youngest brother, got a little bit larger. He ended up with 6 vehicles. And he actually had an Astro, and he had 1 Peterbilt, pretty close to Scotty's here, which was impressive. I didn't get to drive the Peterbilt, but I did the Astro. Okay, then I go off to college and go into manufacturing. Now I'm semi-retired.
So the seed was sown for the Astro right there.
I ran into the Astro, and I almost had one partially renovated or improved here in Ohio, just right over by Akron. Missed it by a week. That was probably bad news, because this one I found in southern Texas, 20 miles from Mexico. And my cousin and I conned him in. He was a CDL driver. I didn't have my CDL renewed right in 2018 yet. And so I talked to Marvin going down with me. We're going to fly down 3 days, bring it back. Hey, so we packed our bag.
3 days, right?
Went to Cleveland, went to South Texas, got down there, and the salesman said, no problems driving that back. Big problem. First of all, I had racing slicks in the front, so we put new tires on before we even took it out of the lot.
But you had arranged with him to have this stuff taken care of,
I
right?
actually sent him money to change the oil, grease the truck, and the basic safety. And well, when I got down there, he hit a few grease fittings that you could see, but he missed a whole bunch of them.
Right.
Never did any of the other work. They gave me a good deal just to get it off the lot. And so we put the tires on it, and the cab jack didn't work. So we had to tie the cab down.
Yeah.
I was afraid it was going to just tip up, and we'd end up looking at ourselves in the road. So we got her all ready to go, and nothing was very well attached anymore. It's getting kind of old, you know, right off the farm, a ranch down there. And we took off and we start up Texas, and we're looking at straight ahead about 100 miles into southern Texas, and we could only get it to 45 miles an hour.
Oh my.
Marv looked at me. I thought it was something with the governors. I had no ability to work on the engine at that point.
Yeah, heaven forbid a cab jacket works on an old truck, right?
No, well, we had trouble jacking it up at the dealer when we bought it and check it over. So anyways, we're coming up at 45 miles an hour. We made it to Austin, Texas. And we then noticed we had a few flat tires. Good thing we have 8 of them on the back. Because I think four of them were flat, fortunately in different spots. And went to change them. We couldn't get the lug nuts off with the truck that came out. He just didn't have enough air pressure. That was really good because they were rusted onto the rims and they stayed there. And we paid him to put new fuel filters on, and away we went. Well, on the third day, we were just coming out of Texas. 3 days to get out of Texas. That's a big state. And it just gets better from there. We couldn't.
You needed a few more days off now, huh? Right?
We packed 3 days. Marv was getting homesick for his wife, more for his dogs, but his wife. And so we had to do our laundry, and we'd plug it into the charger every night, and if we didn't, AAA came out and jumped it and got me going.
Yeah.
But we found out later one of the problems, there was no wire strands from the battery to the starter. You know, there's probably 30, 40 strands in that cable.
Right.
Only 4 of them were attached from front to back. So that's why
they didn't help you out, did they?
No,
they were just happy to get that truck off the lot.
They were.
There's one of them Northerners. Give them the boot.
They got me.
Yeah.
But the good news, they had it priced probably right down there for a used vehicle. And I saw I cut the price right in half, and they took it. And I thought, oh, I should have known then there was a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, but the old thing, we never could shut it off. When we went into McDonald's, we just let it run.
Sure.
And we'd shut it off at night, plug it into the hotel, hope for the best. And AAA was great, except we were so far out in Arkansas. One morning, they wouldn't come out, I don't know, from Texas or Missouri, where the heck we were. And a young lady in a small motel lent me her Ford SUV to jump it. And I left her almost a half hour. We were charging up the battery that wasn't the problem. It was the wire
Yeah.
from the battery over that
I'm
wasn't
surprised
working.
you didn't have a fire.
Well, that's also true. Everything. There wasn't even a fan belt on the alternator. The alternator. Hey, interesting part. On the alternator in that truck, cleverly designed for 24-volt to start it. Once that truck started, that system kicked back over to 12 volts.
Right.
Everything else was 12 volts. So when I got it up here and put a new alternator on it, they just put the 12 volts. So the starter was already reduced down to 12 volts.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everything. So that worked out pretty good. Then I met Rick McAllister, and he's the brains behind this.
I call him the Wizard.
Okay, Wizard.
You guys saw him in my Brigadier video. You'll see him. You saw him in the general video, and hopefully you'll see him in this Astro video if he shows up.
He'll be here shortly. Yeah. We did our laundry. We got back a week later, and the girls were here, and they took us out to dinner. Marv says, "I don't think I'm going to do that again."
Well, it was a good experience, huh?
Oh, it really was. Marv and I are first cousins, and it came along. It's just a fun project. This is one of those things that you get to do once in a lifetime, or two or three if you're Wayne.
That's right.
And it's a project of love. You either do it for fun or you shouldn't do it.
Absolutely. Yep. That's what it's all about, though, Ron. It's all the people that I've met.
Well, that's
Rick
also
here, and
true.
you go to the shows, you meet these guys. Now they got the channel. I seem to get a lot more friends, so hey, I'll take them.
Well,
But a lot of guys love these trucks.
Never give up a friend.
That's
Never
it.
give up a friend. This is a 1979 GMC ASTRO 9500. It was designed to pull, not race. It's geared down pretty low, 13 speed. The Detroit in it is a V8 2-cycle. It's turbocharged and 400 and some horsepower.